stay on you. There we go, folks. We are back. Sorry about earlier. My laptop decided to update, and Lucy's finally fixed the problem, so Lucy is here.
Yay!
So, news on the Warhammer 40,000 community, or the Warhammer community page, rather, is that there is a new Warhammer 40,000 starter box coming out, which has most of the contents of the Dark Imperium, minus a couple of the characters and a couple of squads and things. But it's basically a smaller version of the game from what I can see. I'm going to hazard a guess it's probably going to be about 50 quid. So for the Marine side of it, it's got the Assault Marines in. I'm going to have the Hellblasters, or a squad of 5 Marines, and the Captain. And on the Death Guard side, I think it had the, whoever their champion was, a couple of Plague Marines, a couple of Poxwalkers, and the Drone. So it's nice that they're releasing a starter set. I know the Age of Sigmar one is out this weekend, though, which is about, I think it was it Age of Sigmar minus the 2 characters, Lewis?
Yes, I think. Well, there was a different one compared to the original box.
Yeah, but I think it was just minus the 2 characters. So it's nice that they've done like a cheaper version of it, but then they've also done another one, which looks to be a bit smaller again. Kind of like, you know, the 20 quid box that we got for some extra spares for our Khorne and Stormcast.
Yeah.
You get the basic rules and a few models. They're actually going to do another one of them, which it's got 3 of the normal Primaris Marines in, and there's 3 of the new ones that they've just showed, which look like scouts. And then it's got 3 Plague Marines and 6 Poxwalkers in it. So I'm not sure of the price of that, but if it's anything like the Age of Sigmar ones, even if it's 20 quid, it's almost worth for getting the extra Marines. And especially if if you've gone halves with someone to start the Dark Imperium game, it'll be worth splitting just to get a few extra reinforcements and stuff. So I wasn't really going to bother with getting more Primaris, but if that comes in quite cheap, and it only works out as like a tenner for half of it, I'd be very tempted. I noticed you saying nothing on that.
No.
Nothing at all?
Do you really need more?
No. Do I want more? Probably.
You always do.
I know. They've also shown a new captain and a new librarian as well, but neither of which I think I'm particularly bothered about. They're lovely models, but I've got enough captains and I've got enough librarians, and of course, being Blood Angels, I have Mephiston as well. So I don't think I'll be picking those guys up as beautiful models as they are.
Are they bringing a new Dante model out?
That'll probably only happen when and if the Blood Angels get an update, which will be a while, yes, I imagine. But if there's a new Dante model, I will be the first to get it. Because Dante needs a new model. That was my Commander Dante when I was 14. I'm now 31. And that model has not changed, which is a bit sad. Especially the Sanguinary Priest model. The new Sanguinary Priest model is amazing. And then you've got Kabulo, which is the named Sanguinary Priest. And yeah, you can tell easily it's an old model. I think Mephiston kind of has held up all right. It's like Astaroth and Sanguinor. The models are still pretty nice for them. And the Lamartes model is a resculpt anyway. That's the newer Lamartes model from what I used to remember. But yeah. Oh, also, points for Vander's Hammerhand. That was released on the Warhammer community page as well.
How much is it?
280 points. So he's gone up by 60 over a normal Celestin on Dracov. But his hammer does a flat 3 damage. His passive ability is Lord of the Host.
I like that.
So no battle shot within 24 automatically. But then his command ability is anybody within, I think it was 6 or 9 inches of him. gets
6.
+1 attack. So imagine Retributors are 3 attacks each, and then Celestin's +1 to hit, meaning that you're doing your 2 mortal wounds on 5s.
Mm-hmm.
But doesn't have a shield.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. But then, what I've been doing lately is taking Celestin on foot as my general with the using other command ability trait.
Yeah.
I've been using that to get Celestin on Dracoth's Lord of the Host. Well, I get that anyway, so I can use the trait Consummate Commander for something more, something else.
Yep.
But then I've got to think.
Because I think when you did it the opposite way, when you ran Dracoth as your general, he's got a target painted on him regardless. So as soon as he went down, you couldn't use the other one's ability. Whereas by doing it this way, even if he goes down, you've still got Celestin's ability then.
Mm-hmm. And to be fair, everyone says Stormcast are brilliant, but bad command abilities.
Yeah, there's not many command abilities for them.
No.
Oh, I've just brought the chat back up. Oi, where do you go, you get. Surreal. Unfortunately, my laptop had to update. Helsing over 1988. Hello from Denmark. Or are we already over the new GW stuff? YouTube newbie 01. Hello, Dark Artisan. Good 8th edition battle reports. Thank you very much. Lucy will be doing another one soon, hopefully. And we'll actually make it to the end of a game. Or I'll not get tabled. Me and Phil played one yesterday. Believe it or not, right, we actually made it to turn 6.
Never.
Yep. Needless to say, neither of us had a lot left. He had 2 chariots on 1 wound, which should have been dead. But my horrendous rolling didn't kill them. A few horrors and Be'lakor. And I had a tactical squad of 5 Marines left. So, yeah. I made a big mistake in my turn 6 that cost me the game. So when it goes up at the weekend, if you watch it, you'll actually see what I mean. And I do comment on it. Lucy cooks her dice, apparently.
Do I? Was that all them 6 pluses?
It depends, because like sometimes when you play an Age of Sigmar, your dice rolls are absolutely horrific.
Oh God, I know.
Yet when you play 40k, like when you played the Dark Eldar against me, like the amount of 6 upfield no pains and 5 up invulnerables that you passed was absolutely ridiculous. You passed a lot.
Yeah. Shocking in a good way, of course. For me, anyway. How many models did you actually kill? Is that
not a lot. I think I blew up a raider and killed most of a Cabalite squad.
This squad actually?
And I think that was pretty much it. By turn 6, the game should be decided. Yeah, believe it or not, it was still very, very close with me and Phil. We went into turn 6 on 12 points each. So it was very, very close. And it absolutely, the one decision I made in turn 6 absolutely cost me the game. But like I said, when you see it, when it goes up at the weekend, you'll see what I mean by that. But needless, it was nice to, we spent a lot of the day playing it basically. We didn't rush it, we just took our time and played through it and just really enjoyed the game. And it was nice to make it to turn 6, because I felt like a lot of the games that we played, we basically kind of rushed through them just to try and get some battle reports up to show off what the different armies do in 8th edition. Now that the hype has kind of died down a little bit, I'm really going to focus on trying to up the quality of the battle reports, add a little bit of a narrative spin to them again, like what I used to do. And it was very, very easy to forget putting that into the battle reports and just kind of going through the motions of filming. It was very, very easy to forget. to include just all those little extras that make a difference. So
one thing I seem to have noticed about 8th edition, I don't know if you've already talked about it, I didn't want to play, was you basically had 2 sets of armies. A small handful that were almost impossible to kill. Eldar, Necrons and Tau.
right.
So it just didn't seem fair.
The problem with 7th edition was a lot of armies got a lot of love that others didn't. So when the Eldar Codex dropped, everything in the Eldar Codex was good. But then formations were a thing. Now, obviously, you know formations as battalions from Age of Sigmar, which gives you them extra little buffs, which is cool, but you pay for them. In 7th edition, you didn't pay for the formations, you just got them for free. So, for example, the Riptide Wing was one. Now, I know you don't know what Riptide is, but imagine your Raptors, for example, Lucy.
Right.
Just randomly, because you take a squad of 3, you get to shoot them twice. Because you take 3 squads of them, you get to shoot them twice. But you don't pay anything extra for them.
Right.
That is how it worked. And obviously, Riptides were incredibly powerful for Tau to begin with. They were very, very point efficient. And you basically got to fire them twice for no additional cost if you simply took 3 units of Riptides.
But do you not think it's better now? Like, more armies are more competitive in that. And you like before, say if it was Eldar versus Tyranids, you got a win for the
for Eldar. Yeah, because a lot of the older armies didn't get much love. Like Tyranids were still playing with a 6th edition Codex. A lot of 7th edition armies that got updated early on suffered. Dark Eldar, Blood Angels, for example. But then when they brought out the new detachments, so you know, in the Stormcast book, for example, you can run Hammers of Sigmar.
Yeah.
And it says you have this battalion, and that one. If you have all of them, you get this in addition as well as whatever is in them battalions. When they released them for 40k, 7th edition, Necrons was the first one. Basically, Necrons got their second save. So you know how Nurgle has disgusting resilience in Sigmar?
Yeah.
Necrons had reanimation protocols, which was exactly the same. But if you took the core detachment, reanimations were a 4+ instead of a 5+. So you would take the normal armor save, then a 4+, and it was just ridiculous to try and kill them. That coupled with the fact that most Necron weapons could wound anything on a 6, where I know obviously in 8 you now can, but before you couldn't. It was the whole strength tier system. Whereas if your toughness was 3 points more than your strength, you couldn't hurt it. So what they've done now is basically rewrote everything from the ground up. Now there is obviously a lot of discrepancies in there still. I think some things are not as good as other things for the points, and it's always going to be the same. But obviously, playtesting their entire model collection to try and redo that is not a small thing. So it is nice that a lot of underappreciated armies are now coming to the top. They've realized that a lot of the old armies were very overpowered and have kind of tried to bring them down a peg. For example, Tau. I don't think Tau are necessarily bad now, but Riptides went up in points a lot. I don't know how many points there were before. I think they were nearly 200, whereas now they're about 340 each.
I just think it makes it fair all around, and it makes the armies to play against it's a lot better in that way.
The problem with having the Decurion formations that they had is you turned up for a game against Necrons, you knew you were facing a Reclamation Legion, and then probably a, oh, what's it called? With all the Wraith Spiders that you don't like, Canoptic Harvest. You knew if you were playing Necrons, you were playing a Reclamation Legion and a Canoptic Harvest, because the Wraiths had 2 wounds apiece, a 3-up invulnerable, and then a 4 reanimation protocol. And they were toughness 6, they were hard to hurt anyway. And they were just ridiculous to try and shift. And you turned up to a game against Eldar, you knew you were facing bikes, because bikes were troops or battle line as you know them. And it was just horrendous. Like, you could turn up to any game against any opponent and pretty much know what you're playing against. You go against Tau, you were pretty sure there was going to be at least 1 or 2 Riptides in there, and then a Storm Surge or some broadsides, and then Crisis Teams. And that was pretty much all you would see. So
yeah,
what
exactly.
they've done is now they've done it so that everything can do something, and you can run themed armies like the Wraith host. I mean, don't get us wrong, the Wraith is going to be good, but they're expensive. But then, like with Dark Eldar, we can run an entire Coven army. Now, I know we could before because of the Homunculus Coven book with the formations in that, but standard Battleforge, there was no way to do it because there's no troops. Whereas now, you know, the battalions allow you to take a HQ and 3 elites. And, you know, things are still viable, so you can take, if you want your jet bike army for Eldar, take a Farseer on bike and 3 units of bikes as a fast attack choice. You can still do it. It's just the fact that if you build a more rounded army, it benefits you more with the command points. And because everything can hurt everything, the new rules flow very well. It's brought a lot of not so good armies back to the top. Guard, for example, Tyranids are powerful. But I watched Lawrence versus Lawrence put a game up last night on Tabletop Tactics. Of the Colonel took his Guard against Lawrence's Nids, but Bone was using them, and the Colonel with his Guard just obliterated the Nids, like absolutely obliterated them. And Guard have not been strong for a very long time. And Dark Eldar as well. Dark Eldar have not been strong for a very long time.
Everyone's saying now they're the best.
Dark Eldar is one of the best. I'm not going to lie. I think they are very, very good. They've got access to a lot of lances. They've got access to do a lot of mortal wounds with Coven stuff. They've got a lot of AP modifiers and then a lot of poison. So, you know, the Lancers going after big monsters or vehicles is brilliant. Then the fact that they've got all the poison to mow down single wound infantry, you know, they can make a mess of a lot of stuff. They're fast, they're durable with the invulnerable saves and everything.
And the power from pain.
What is that? Yeah, the power from pain was slightly different in 7th edition. For example, on turn 1, you didn't get anything. Turn 2, you got the 6-up Feel No Pain. But Feel No Pain was different in 7th. So in 8th, you can't get doubled out. Basically, if you hit a toughness 3 model with a strength 6 weapon, you fail your armor save, regardless of how many wounds you had, the model was instantly killed because it was the shot was too strong. So if you were subject to instant death, you could not take your Feel No Pain. So most Eldar being toughness 3, anything strength 6 or above that was hitting you, you couldn't take your Feel No Pain against it.
Mm.
Whereas now, you get it against everything. So I think it's, and you get it from turn 1, even if it is only a 6-up. Turn 2 is reroll failed charges. What did you get on turn 3 for the old power from pain? Can't remember what turn 3 was, but turn 4 was Furious Charge, which was +1 strength. Now though on turn 3, you get +1 to hit, which is very handy because obviously if you're charging, you want to make sure you're hitting. You do still get fearless essentially because there's, I think when it gets up to 4, you don't take morale checks then, and then on 5, the enemy is at -1 to their leadership, which a lot of
I thought turn 5.
You what?
I thought turn 5 you didn't have to take morale checks anymore.
No, that was the 7th edition one. The 8th edition power from pain, it's turn 4, you don't take them. Pretty sure. And then turn 5, your enemy subtracts 1 from their leadership if they're within 6. I'm pretty sure that's where it is anyway. But it's really nice to see a lot of the other armies now coming to the front and models that you wouldn't normally see used now being used. Like Blood Angel stuff, it was so rare I would take scouts, and I certainly would never take like things like a multi-melter in my tactical squad. Whereas yesterday against Phil, I had a 5-man tactical squad with multi-melter, and I had a 5-man scout squad with snipers. And they were things that you wouldn't see a lot of. I think you're going to see a lot more Devastator squads now. 10-man Devastator squad with 4 heavy weapons, for example. I think you're going to see that a lot. And then obviously the normal Marines to basically absorb wounds. I think you're going to see a lot more of that. Stephen Dunn, I played Dark Eldar today with Tau, nearly got tabled. Fast open top transports in 8th are very powerful. Mandrake's assassinated me ethereal turn 1. Moral of the story, that Stephen, don't let them get within 9 inches and never ever make sure your ethereal is the closest. But yeah, Tau would have made a mess of Dark Eldar previously because they would hit them with marker lights and then say, right, you've got no cover save. Whereas Dark Eldar in 7th relied on cover. I know you didn't play 7th, Lucy, but you understood some aspects of it. And I know I've talked about Jink, where you would get either armor or your cover save. Well, basically, Dark Eldar Raiders could Jink with a 3-up, but it was a cover save. So obviously, as soon as you're facing down Tau, and it's like, right, you've got no cover, well, great, I'm dead, because it was only armor 10 vehicle, and all their guns were strength 5 or above. So with no cover save, and then any shots hurting you on at least 5s, you're pretty much guaranteed to lose your 3 hull points instantly.
Mandrakes are the ones that can come on in any turn, can't they? You choose.
Yeah, and the Bale Blasts do mortal wounds on the roll of a 6 to wound.
I wonder what the game would have went like if I'd brought them on earlier than I did, because I think I didn't bring them on until turn 3, didn't I?
Yeah, something like that. Scourge as well, I think we played Scourge wrong. I mean, I just went, oh yeah, Heat Lancers look cool, let's put them on. But when you consider Heat Lancers, you roll 2d6 and pick the highest for the damage if you're within half range. The range is 18, so you can't deploy within 9 inches when you deep strike them. So I think in that instance, we played the Scourge totally wrong. But yeah, I think a lot of people are saying now that run them with Dark Lancers. Now, a lot of Dark Lancers are heavy weapons. If you move the Scourge, you're obviously suffering the -1, but even with the -1, people are saying that they're almost as cost-effective as Ravagers. But stationary, they're more cost-effective than Ravagers. Ice Dragon says the model I have a hard time with is a Swarm Lord. He's a tough cookie, but you've just got to keep hitting him with that multiple damage weapons. Liam killed mine with Dark Reapers because they were doing 3 damage apiece. After playing a few games, I can say Marker Lights definitely have taken a hit in reliability. Yeah, the Marker Light system for Tau's totally changed. I very conveniently though built up 16 marker drones last night, Lucy. So what marker drones do for Tau is you shoot them at a unit first. And if you only get one hit on them, I think you can reroll ones when a unit targets them. If you get a 2, they don't benefit from cover. If you get 3 hits, then you can reroll all failed hits. It's something like that. But basically, it's cumulative. So I basically thought, right, what's the quickest and most effective way to get marker lights in? And I considered guys carrying marker lights, pathfinders, and they just didn't look as survivable as what the drones did. The drones have one less save, or one more save. The tougher, because the toughness 4 instead of 3, and if they move, they don't suffer the minus penalty for being a heavy weapon.
They're not?
Nope. And the fast attack, so it's like 60 points for 4. And I can take 3 units of them and a HQ for an entire detachment. So that's what I've done.
Are there any Harlequins built last night by any chance?
I did not, but I found all the parts. I reckon I've got enough to build another 5. Yes, because you need 5 more, don't you, to make the 4th squad.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got all the parts there. I've got the drill bits, so I can magnetize the rest of the weapons. And I've got all of the weapons, which means you should be able to get almost anything you want.
I was thinking and having a look at the hair wires, and I think you're right, they are better than new. Or
I think the haywire cannons are good when you're playing against vehicles. But I would probably stick them on your Void Weavers, not your bikes, because you want your bikes in combat. So if you're wanting haywire cannons, there's 3.
is that them?
That's them.
I've got the Kiss, the correct in the Shuriken cannon. I think I'm pretty sure I know what they look like.
Which one's the caress?
It's just like a hand, like he's grabbing a try and grab a fail.
Which one's the kiss?
It's like a gold sword stick thing.
Yep. Shuriken cannon.
It's white.
Cream. Bone colour.
Yeah.
The bone on mine, but it might not be in other armies. You can normally tell them by the long thin strip along the top, because basically they launch shuriken stars out of them. So you can normally tell the pistols basically look the same but smaller.
Speaking of Harlequins, there doesn't seem to be many models, and there's nothing like a big model, like, you know, Eldar's got the
Wraith Knight.
Tyranids, the Swarm Lord.
Yep, there's nothing big because Harlequins are such a niche army. And the army itself was only actually released 2 years ago. Originally, like way back in 2nd edition, there used to be like lots of Harlequin models, but then what they did is they kind of trimmed the range of them down, and they rolled them into the 5th edition Eldar Codex and Dark Eldar Codex. You could take a squad of Harlequins as an elite choice, and inside of that squad, you could then add a Shadow Seer or a Death Jester into the squad, but they weren't separate entities like what they are now. Whereas now they're their own armies.
Do you think now they've got the good upgrades? A new model might be coming.
I don't know, possibly, but I think the only other things that they might do is, I've got the 2nd edition Eldar Codex in the cupboard, right? And there's another unit in there called Harlequin Mine. I don't know what it is, so I can't say. I've never seen a model for it. If anyone has seen a Harlequin Mine, by the way, please send us a picture of it. But I think they were basically like Solitaire 5.0s.
Oh.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, it's not on a video, so you can't see, but on launch night we were at Battle Bunker and I took the Harlequins. And I was unsure about taking the solitaire because of how bad he was.
It's not that he was bad, it's just in the game against me,
Yeah, the
you
wall.
you went for something that was toughness 5 when you were strength 5. So you were wounded on 4s. I then had an invulnerable save as well.
With the 10 attacks, 2 hit.
No, 2 wounded. You hit with most of them. You had a really bad wound roll.
When I played with him, the Battle Bunker, when I played against Evs.
Zinch.
No, it wasn't Zinch, it was just mostly chaos. Just random chaos bit. He was brilliant.
Because you were hitting soft, squishy targets, that's why. If you go after something big, you'll never do it.
Yeah.
You what?
I went for a character.
Yeah, but his character was probably only toughness 4, which meant you were wounded on 3s, and he probably didn't have an invuln or a very little one, if that.
Mm.
He's a brilliant character sniper. You've just got to play him well. Wait for the opportune moment to get to a character that you know you can take out.
Yeah. The bikes took 2 bikes took his demon prince out.
The bikes are really good. But look at me, I
Yeah.
tried my demon prince at your bikes and I lost them. So Steve says the problem with Tau now is while you can stay within 6 inches of each other to support fire, enemy units can consolidate into them if they are too close. Totally agree, which is why if you know you're going to get charged, you push a unit of fire warriors forward to absorb the charge so that the enemy can't get to within an inch of you. And that's the way I'm going to be playing them.
How far away are you from playing with them?
You what?
How far away till you're ready to play with them?
Oh, I've just sprayed the rest of them black today. I need to do 2 more. I need to airbrush all of the drones and the 3 tanks and about 10 guys. And then I can start painting them all up properly. But then I've got the Storm Surge to do as well, which is the big one on the top of the cupboard up there. But I didn't like the gun it's got, and conveniently Maka sent me the opposite gun. Never primer black. Oh my god, I prime almost everything black. Black primer, and that is getting sprayed white because I'll be doing it with a dark grey and then a light grey from the side and then a white from the top. That is primed black, believe it or not. Can't see very well because of my light. But yeah. So you can see the blue grey from underneath, light grey from the side, and then of course the bright white from the top. Mike, you love your dark artisan canvas. Lucy painted it. Why wouldn't you prime in white? Because zenithal shading, so it's harder to build up to. It's harder to dull white down than it is to build. Yeah. So basically, I sprayed it black and then did all the blue grey underneath, and then from the side you do the grey, and then from the top you do the white. So it means that when you look at the model, you get actual real time shading. So you can't really see because of that, but underneath there, it's really all quite dark under here, under his arms and everything. So then when I spray it from the side with the airbrush with greys, it comes up quite nice, but it only picks up the side panels, nothing underneath, and then top down with the white. Whereas if I sprayed it all white underneath, I can't create the shadow. But by spraying it black and then highlighting it from the top, I can create the light. So that's why I do it that way. Mikey will explain about that. Black primer all the way, in my opinion. There you go. So yeah, that's why I do that. Even with reds, all my blood letters, sprayed them black. Side with a dark red, top down with a light red. Wash and done. Oh, what have we got? I need some brown for hair.
I was going to ask something about, oh no, I've remembered. Is there anything you don't like about 8th edition so
What?
far? Any rules or anything?
Is there anything I don't like?
About anyone? But yeah.
Cover rules. Cover is so odd at the minute. So, like, me and Phil played Unari versus Gene Seal Cult last week, for example. And my Ravager was behind the building, but he could see the sail. Yet I couldn't get a cover save because I'm not in the ruins. And I was just like, that's stupid. So I feel like they definitely need to FAQ the cover saves because the way the cover saves are is stupid. Whilst I agree that infantry need to be entirely in the terrain, cool. But vehicles and monsters, if they are 50% obscured, they should get the cover save. And that should be from intervening terrain. So if I'm shooting through a forest at a monster, or shooting through a ruin at a monster, but because he's not in the ruin, he doesn't get the cover save. Yeah, if he's behind it, he should.
Plus,
I don't like it.
them saying 50%.
Mikey says cover is nearly pointless now. Interacting with cover was always something I loved in 40k, and fantasy didn't have. I like the simplicity of it because there was so many arguments over cover saves and stuff before, and then armor facing on vehicles and everything. It's okay, but it should be infantry need to be in the cover to get it. Monsters and vehicles need to be 50% obscured from the firer. If it was just that, absolutely fine.
I thought it was.
No. The rules are really ambiguous. The way we played it in the Eldar versus Dark Eldar, we played it that way because that's the way I read it. But no, as time's gone on, that's been explained that you have to be in the cover to get it, which is silly. So, for example, I haven't got anything here to do it with, but 2 beer cans, right? You're shooting there. The model is 50% obscured. I should have a cover save, but I don't because I'm not in the terrain. If I was here, behind the cans, then I would get it. If I'm here, I don't get it. Stupid. So I think monsters and vehicles should be, if it's 50% obscured, you get +1 to your save. Then infantry have to be in the cover.
You drinking normal cider?
I had 2 cans in the fridge, and they've been there since before Christmas. So I thought, why not? So Real says, nope, that's only 43% obscured. You get the idea of what I'm saying, though. It's a bit daft. Oh, Lucy, in October, we're going to probably Warhammer World.
Are we?
We are. We're meeting up with Sam and Rachel from Wargamer Online.
Oh, the other lass.
Yeah.
All the camera.
She plays Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. When did that get arranged?
When I was streaming earlier, Sam popped into the chat, and someone said that we should meet up and have a game, and he's about an hour south of Nottingham. So I said, obviously, like with August, I'm busy at Southport. September, I'm in Gibraltar, but October-ish is probably when I'm free. So I said I would get in touch with him close at the time to arrange something.
We've got a wedding in October, so...
We do. But we'll see. Might be able to manage it.
We are not going the day before.
Well, I know that. I'm not gonna do that and make you go down to Warhammer World the day before Katie and Mac's wedding.
She plays Lizardman, doesn't she?
She does.
Oh, speaking of female gamers, I was talking to Kizzy today.
Right.
She's just moved house, but she's getting herself where she's going to be getting a new table in the games room for just her.
Right.
David's got his own and they try to fight over it. But she's nearly finished her painting and she's looking to start a game soon. Says give
I'll go
us
for it.
And David.
Also, oh, go on.
David nervous says I'll have to get him on the channel.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just having a look down the chat now. Mikey says the entire unit needing to be in cover is very harsh on large something, especially on table with terrain and small footprints. Yeah, it is, or units. He says he'll be there in October. If it's the same date, I'll say hi. Mikey, we still need to meet up for a chat. Like, we've been friends for like 3 years now, and we still never met. Surreal says they need a laser pointer thing that if you can light the model's head or another model, it can be hit.
You've got one. I gave you one from the start.
It says actual monsters can't be targeted unless the nearest on Mars 10 is. Surreal, the rule that you're referencing there saying monsters can't be targeted unless they're the closest if they've got less than 10 wounds. That's only characters. So the Swarm Lord can be targeted, for example, because he's 12 wounds. Gulliman can't because he's 9. So, sorry, Liz, what were you saying there?
It says you have got a laser pointer. I gave you when I gave
Yeah,
it on me.
the problem is you don't need it because it's cover or not the way that they've done it.
Mm.
Yeah, Surreal's just said there, OIC. Yeah, it's only characters that you can do that target. It's only characters that you can't target if they're less than 10 wounds. Monsters you can. So
that's how I Phil. That's how I took out Phil's thingy. The one that can bring the little things on.
Oh, the Turbogon.
Yes, that.
You keep hitting it with your prismatic cannon.
Every single thing was shot at it.
So see, again, Phil, for example, you would never need the haywire cannons because he's got no vehicles. You'd always take the prismatic cannons. But most of the armies are going to have some form of vehicle. Mikey says, definitely let me know when you're free and we can arrange something. Are you still there, Luce?
Uh-huh.
All right. But yeah, Mikey, we'll have to sort something out for sure, man, because it's been way too long. And every time, like, I've gone to Warhammer World and you've gone, it's been on different dates. So definitely need to get something arranged. So anyway, Lucy, you said that you were bored of painting Stormcast the other day.
Mm-hmm.
What have you actually got left to paint? You don't have a lot, do you?
I think what it is, it's the horses. There's just so much different tiny little bits, and you know I'm not good on the tiny little, like
There's a lot of detail on them, isn't there?
Yeah, it's like.
But you've recently finished off. What have you finished? You finished 15 Liberators.
3 characters.
Vexilor and Knight Questor. You actually did the riders for the Paladors.
I did the Raptor, 6 Raptors.
Yeah, you did the other Raptors. So the only thing you've got left is 6 Prosecutors, 5 more Paladins, and 1 character, and then obviously the 3 actual Palador horses.
Mm-hmm. I did just do all.
You did a
week.
Loads of high elf archers, yeah. Which reminds me, I need to finish them off.
I wouldn't mind painting. You know, they were the first mobs I fell in love with when we showed us them. Because before I met Harry,
loads of that. I've got 2 Ravagers and a Reaper behind us and a Razor Wing. I'll smash them out, but in the drawdown there is another 5 Raiders, another 3 Venoms, 5 Scourge, and about 25 Warriors and Witches.
You can so tell that Dark Eldar was one of your favourite armies before.
Why?
It's the amount you've got.
I've got more blood angels.
Yeah. And that's scary.
I,
Need
I,
more
I, don't,
shadows.
I don't even want to know how many points of blood angels I've got now with the new point system, you know. And believe it, like Phil went through he pulled the 2 drawers out with us yesterday, right? Because obviously he only sees what's painted because he knows what's in my boxes and stuff and what I play with regular. So when I pulled the 2 drawers out and he was looking there, he was like, "What the hell?" He says, "Like you've got like double the Gene Stealer cult in here." I was like, "Yeah, I know." He's like, "But you haven't painted them." I was like, "I know." And then he was like, "Oh my god, what's in this? Look at all the Eldar you've got." He's like, "You've got 3 Falcons and like 3 wall batteries and 3 war walkers, and then you've got all the characters and everything." I was like, "I know."
See, I don't see the point of you having all them. I've known you over a year, and like that drawer has never been touched.
It has. I did the Gene Stealer cult.
No, we were together when you got them. Literally,
Exactly, and I built them.
no,
And
but the drawers have never been touched.
well, now they have. There was Necron stuff in there. You painted all the Necron stuff. Which reminds us, I actually need to fix that Ghost Arc, not Ghost Arc, Doomsday Arc together. I just need to do all the white edge highlighting on it. And then fix it together. But if you would like to, I've got another 2 of them to do.
They're not the spy things, are they?
No. They're the ones where you had 6 U-shaped pieces to paint.
Oh, God.
It's okay, you don't need to do it. They are beautiful models when they are built right, but they are absolutely horrendous to paint. So, yeah. What else have I got here? I've got a load of Khorne Berserkers and Chaos Space Marines that need painting as well.
You just asked me to paint corn.
I did.
No. Actually, I'll paint them.
You dare put glitter on them, right? And there will be trouble.
I was kind of thinking of doing what I did with that bag of blood letters he gave us in the car.
We'll put them in the bin.
No, out the window.
Oh, yeah. Cool Skin says, "Can you show that thing you are painting in the camp, please?" I certainly can. It is my converted Wraithseer. And I'm just painting the gems on it at the moment. Gems are horrible, and I accidentally knocked these other tabard off, and it's here. I'm painting the gems on him, Mikey, so he doesn't need that much left to do. And I was just doing the fire prism as well. If you want to do some purple, Lucy, you could do some of the Eldar. We've got War Walkers. You know, by the time you've done the purple on them, there's not that much left of them to do. The Vol support batteries.
No, tomorrow.
You'll have a look. There's some Striking Scorpions to paint, which are green Eldar Aspect Warriors. There is, what else is there? Mikey says, "Yeah, gems are tedious to paint. I feel your pain." Yeah, I'm doing 3 shades on each of them as well. So I do a dark blue and a dark green, a light blue and a light green, and then I use Pallid Witch Flesh for the top highlight on them. I would have liked to have gotten some more of my Blood Angels done, but the fact I've just sat and painted the entire Dark Imperium box with Blood Angels. How many have I done? 15, 18, and 4 characters. I've just done 22.
In 2 years.
In 2 days. Speaking of them, in fact, you haven't seen them yet because we've been busy all weekend, but Coolskin says, hey mate, can you do a small shout out? Of course, absolutely anything that I can do, I'll be glad to. There's the Hellblasters, which are plasma guns. I need to finish the bases off, but I've lost my Gorilla Glue. So I haven't been able to add the static grass onto them. There's the banner guy.
I like how you're using the names that I give them now, banner guy.
There's the captain, Lord Celestant.
You know, considering they give them the same names as Sigmar. Lord Celestant.
That's not Lord Celestant.
I know it's the same name. Could they not come up with a different name?
It's not. It's not Lord Celestant.
Well, what's his name?
It's a Space Marine captain.
So he's not Lord Celestant. Oh, I'm just getting it because he looks like him.
Because he looks like him, yeah. With his cloak and his sword in the air.
But it's not copying his name, it's copying his look then.
If you consider those, Stormcast are basically large Space Marines. So when I was painting these look almost identical to Stormcast, just with a little bit more Space Marine on them.
When I was talking to Kizzy today, that's exactly what we were talking about. The fact that
they look identical to Stormcast because Stormcast were modern Space Marines.
Yep.
So Coolskin says, give a shout out for War Vision Gaming 40k. I will certainly give them a check out. If you haven't, please go and check them out. He says, you've done so much already. Yep, I've painted the entire Space Marine half of Dark Imperium box already. What else have I... Last week, was it only last week that I painted all the... we painted all the Shadow Armageddon terrain.
Yep.
I think I airbrushed it on the...
It was Monday, after we went to cinema.
It was Saturday night, I'd airbrushed everything, because I'd sprayed it all black and then just coated it silver. But then I did all the red and the white airbrushing on Saturday night, because you stayed at home. And then on Sunday, Monday and Tuesday, we went through and basically did all of it. Mm-hmm. So 2.5 boxes plus the servo haulers in 2 days. And then obviously I've done this Wraith Seer, and I'm nearly done with him and the Fire Prism. So,
right, I'm going to go make a coffee and I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Cool, just leave your laptop on because when I talk, I'll just leave my camera on. So let's have a look. What else we've got? Well, if you check out Wargaming 40k, War Vision Gaming 40k, every now and then you'll see my updates on it. Cool stuff. I will certainly give that a check out once I finish the live stream. But for now, I'm continuing with. I wish I'd airbrushed the crystal on the Fire Prism. I'm still tempted to do it. So, onto the blue gems. But, first of all, we need a cider. So I'm going to do some showcases. There is a lot of army overviews on the channel. If you go to the playlist and look at army overviews, a lot of them are quite old now. So I do need to do some updates for them. So I will certainly do, especially Primaris Marines. I feel that they could do with a bit of a showcase. But yeah, there is army overviews already there. With me expanding things quite quickly at the minute as well, I'm going to wait a couple of weeks before I start doing them. The Blood Angels probably aren't going to get an expansion very much, if at all, beyond the Primaris Marines. But I did only do them about 8 months ago. When Angel's Blade came out, so I'll probably not do an overview for that. Altop says, I have a tactical question, if I may. Fire away, good sir. And I will certainly try and answer it for you. So, anyway, has anyone played against Demons yet? Because me and Phil were discussing trying to get a Demons game on the channel. And they looked very lackluster. And he basically said corn is basically the way to go. Now I tried them, and maybe I did that. Maybe I played them wrong, but Michael basically shot them down with his storm talon very, very easily, and then his assault marines. So maybe I just played them wrong. Me and Phil played a game where he used pure Tzeentch as well, which was interesting, and they performed a bit better than what he thought. Phil basically bought all of his demons for the 7th edition, and he built it very largely around summoning, and now obviously that's not really a thing anymore. Got my Imperial armor ordered, so Yavara time soon. Steve, I love Yavara, and I'm going to wait till Lucy gets back and say something. You never know. Okay, Blue Angel Psychic Power, Unleash Rage, cast it on Assault Squad or Sanguinary Guard. Sanguinary Guard every time. I tried this yesterday against Phil, and it would have been useful had me dice not hated me, and I failed every single psychic test that I actually attempted to do. Definitely against Sanguinary Guard, and then have the Sanguinary nearby means they've got 4 attacks each. Hitting on 3s, re-rolling if your Warlord is within 6. Sanguinary Priest nearby means you're wounding more stuff on 3s for D3 damage at -3 apiece. So absolutely on the Sanguinary Guard. And then if you take the Sanguinary Ancient with the banner, you re-roll into wounds of a 1 as well. So it's kind of a 4-character and a big blob squad Death Star. Just don't do what I did and put them right in the middle of the field. So it's the closest unit to an entire Tzeentch army of Psykers, so that they just get smited to death. Don't do that. That's not a good idea. But saying that, Assault Squad's a cheap alternative if your Sanguinary Guard are all dead. Because obviously with the chainsaw, that'll get them 3 attacks apiece. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, just not sure. Yeah, it's definitely the way to do it. Just make sure you can get Unleash Rage off. Because I couldn't, because Tzeentch. Is that you back?
I am, but I've found someone on my bed.
No, one of the dogs.
I don't know if you can see her.
Nope, I can see a Tigger though.
See what?
I can see a Tigger.
Say hello.
Stella.
Yep. Come on. Out. Come on. Don't look at us like that. Get out. Stop. Move. Don't want it here. Come on, you're getting told off. Right, go on. Out. Good girl. Sorry about that.
It's alright. So, reading the comments, Steve Dunn says, got an Imperial armor ordered, so Yavara time soon. Yavara's look amazing. I loved the model before, and just awesome. I read the rules last night with Phil, actually, and the Yavara and the Ravana. both brilliant. Speaking of brilliant Forge World models, Lucy.
Yes.
Did you hear anything I just said there?
About what?
About the Tau Yavara and Ravana.
Beautiful models.
Yeah. Steve's saying he's just ordered the Imperial Armor book for the new the rules for the Forge World Tau stuff. I'm saying I've got the book, and me and Phil were looking at it yesterday, and some of the rules for some of the Xenos models are beautiful and really, really powerful. And I'm saying, speaking of good Forge World models, the Reaper and the Tantalus look amazing now.
Oh no.
And I conveniently converted another Reaper today.
Another one. How many is that now?
2. I don't like the price of the Reaper. It's nice, but a Dark Eldar Raider with a couple of extra resin bits is coming in at 44 quid. A Raider's like 20 quid, so it's not worth it. It's a lot of money for not very much resin.
Speaking of beautiful Forge World models, have you told anyone what I did?
Oh, Liam and Phil know. If you're going to tell the story, I just want people to know I genuinely felt awful about this.
No, it was my fault. Ages ago, we were down Warhammer World, and we were going around the exhibition, and in the big one, the big exhibition, I don't know what room it's in.
Battle for Angelus Prime with Angarath and Manius Calgar fighting at the top.
So as we were walking around, I was trying to get some ideas for Christmas gifts, and I just mentioned what model that you haven't got would you absolutely love to paint? Not necessarily to play, but to paint. And he said, what's it called again?
Archeon the Ever-Chosen.
Right, him. So that was months ago. My memory's not the best as it is. So I was looking on Forge World. For some reason, I just thought it was a corn model. So I spent ages on Forge World website. Didn't find out if you had this certain model because I found something and I was positive it was you'd love to paint. But Liam and Phil asking, finding out if you had the model, you didn't. So I found Warhammer World, transferred the money, 140 quid, sent it up. I showed it to Harry, found out I didn't want him to know until Christmas, but it was a good job he did because it's totally the wrong model. He can't even use the model I bought. You are?
I can use it, but it's in sigmar only in a bloodbound army, which I don't have that much bloodbound.
Yeah.
And the points value, the points cost of it, it's like I wouldn't have it hardly. So I was like, I absolutely appreciate the hell out of this. But yeah.
I'd rather you've told us than you keep it thinking, oh yeah, it's brilliant, for it to become £140 ornament.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. What am I doing? Oh, I missed some green on the gems, and I need to highlight some red. And then I'm not far off being done. I've just got some white to do, and I'm gonna have to airbrush the crystal because I'm not happy with just painting it. It kind of sucks. The big giant crystal on the fire prism loose. That's metal.
Nice that.
It's the old one. The new one's got a small, clear white plastic one, and then a long tube, and then another smaller crystal at the front. But this is the really old one. Oh, we've got Warhammer here. This channel will be a collaboration between a couple of friends, also Mr. Coolskin. Keep on going like this with your channel, mate. Nice one. Cool. Thanks very much. Like I said, I will certainly check it out after I've done the live stream and see what is occurring.
Okay, there's a few people watching, so for people who are watching who can type a reply, just my curiosity, would playing against an army covered in glitter and diamantes and everything put you off playing? This is a genuine question that I want to know.
Someone commented on Glittery Slanesh earlier, you know.
Did they?
Yeah.
Well,
Since Slanesh should be the only army covered in glitter, and I told them about
Graham.
Slanesh.
Kizzy, her daemonettes, do you know my purple glitter glue?
Uh-huh.
That's what she's done for the hair.
Nice.
And she's got some flesh hounds.
Right.
I think the cheap ones, a bit like flesh hounds or something.
Yeah, the proper flesh hounds are really expensive. It's like 30 quid for 5, but you can just buy like Chaos Warhounds, which are a little bit smaller, but people use them as flesh hounds because they're cheaper.
Yeah, she's getting the cheaper ones to use in her daemonettes, and she's done the fur in glitter glue as well.
So, Altoft says, I used to play Archeon in 5th and 6th edition. I presume that's fantasy in my 2,000 point army. Yeah, that's when Archeon just used to be a single model on a horse, whereas now he's a really big 3-headed dragon monster. And Mikey says, "Oh, awesome of Lucy to buy the model, though. Shame it was wrong."
Thank you.
Yeah, it absolutely was, mate. It just, I don't play hardly any Bloodbound, and I don't have that many models. I've got a few Blood Warriors, a few Reavers, and a couple of Wrathmongers and stuff, and it's a big model, and as much as I appreciated Lucy buying as I think £140 for models pushing it. Yeah. But thank you very much, though. I do appreciate it.
You're welcome. It's just frustrating, though, because I want to get you something. But say, you've got everything.
Ask Phil. Phil think of something. So Eric Peterson says, in 8th so far, which armies do you feel like are doing the best and the worst? A lot of people said Grey Knights took a nerf, but with Drago, I watched the game with Winters today, and believe it or not, he gave up after turn 2 because he was almost tabled. The Grey Knights are good. Guard are good. Nids are good. Dark Eldar. Harlequins. The problem is that all of these armies are very, very good until you pit them certain ones off against certain others. So Nids are very good against more stuff until you pit them off against Guard, in which case the monstrous tanks of the Guard just make a mess of them, which was evident on Tabletop Tactics. War Vision Gaming says Tau Riptide took a big nerf. Yes, it did, and I have 3 with the commission paint there, which is now sucking big time, but never mind. So yeah, that happened. That was a thing. So, while I've got the blackout, actually, I think I will paint the rims of the bases on the Blood Angels, because that's the only thing I've done on them.
Did Space Wolves get much love in the new edition?
I want to say yes, because they had so many entries anyway, and they've got a massive part of the codex, of the index. But they have so many unique units, like even more than Blood Angels, that I want to say that they probably came off pretty good.
Did you reply to that bloke from Bella about wolves?
He was from Newcastle.
All right.
And yes, I did. I messaged him back today. So I said probably about 2 or 3 weeks' time, and just give us time to get stuff sorted out. And I've got things to catch up on. I've got an exam in 2 weeks, so.
Yep, you need to do some studying.
I do, which is what I'm going to have to do on Tuesday. I've got a bit of homework I need to do as well. So, with there, I have 3 of those Riptides. Wolfen are still great. Yeah, I watched Tabletop Tactics. I watched Lawrence when Bone played Space Wolves versus his Word Bearers and Khorne. And the Wolfen were really powerful still, but the way Lawrence played his Khorne was very, very good. And 2 combat armies smashing each other in the middle. One's going to win, one's going to lose. But it was very close. But Wolfen are fantastic. Lucy loves the look of the Space Wolves. Mainly the Thunderwolf Cavalry. But she won't do them.
No.
Well, yeah.
No. So, like you've just said, though, there's so many different units.
There is, but you can just go for a theme with your army and stick to the theme.
Mm.
Like with Blood Angels, I could just go, right, I'm going to go all Assault Marines or all Dreadnoughts. Which, to be honest, I could probably nearly run a Dreadnought army.
Shane, there's don't do that drop pod for them.
Shane was selling one, actually.
You're joking?
Nope, for 70 quid.
As it sold?
I don't know, but I wouldn't get it anyway because of the new drop pod rules. So you have to deep strike 9 inches away. Even when you disembark, you can't move any closer than 9 inches to your opponent. So they're nowhere near as good, and you can't leave the Dreadnought in the Dreadnought drop pod anymore. Whereas before you used to be able to leave it in and it got a cover save.
Mm.
To represent basically how big it was and hitting the ground, and all the smoke plumes coming up, you could stay in it for turn 1 and get a 2+ cover save.
I know I've only played with 2 armies, but do you think, phrase it, the way they've done the AP, say, even, or there's, see, to me, there's either no AP, 3, 4, not enough, or too much.
Right, the problem is the 2 armies that you picked have either massive damage and AP reduction,
yeah,
or 1 wound with no AP. If you look at other armies that have more weapons, because the problem is you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you've got 6 shooting weapons in your entire army for Harlequins. So it's not really enough to get a full idea. Space Marines, for example, right? If you look at their weaponry, so you've got assault cannons and heavy bolters, which are, machine guns, basically. They have -1 AP across the board, but they're strength 5 and 6. You've then got plasma guns, which is strength 7 with -3 AP, but only 1 wound as well. But you've then got melter guns, which is strength 8, but they're a lot shorter range with -4 doing D6 damage. But then you've got stuff in between that's like minus. An auto cannon, for example, is -1, 2 damage. But there's so many weapons that are available to other armies that what you're saying is basically an extreme because you have so few weapons.
yeah.
Even with Dark Eldar, to be honest, because you've got disintegrated cannons and Dark Lancers, which are like -3 or 4 AP for D6 or 2 damage. Then all your splinter weaponry is no AP, wounded on 4s for 1 damage. And splinter weaponry is pretty much the way the Dark Eldar plays, though.
Yeah. Which is simple because it's just hitting on 4s and winning on 4s no matter what.
Yeah, unless it's a vehicle.
Unless it's 6.
Which was the same in 7th, but if it was a gargantuan, which is like a super heavy monster, so a Wraith Knight, or the Tyranid Hero Duel, things like that. You because it was so big, it was almost immune to poison, so you could only wound it on a 6. And vehicles you couldn't hurt because vehicles were armor 10, and your gun was strength 1. So even if you rolled a 6, you would only reach 7. So you couldn't actually hurt vehicles with your poison. I've got a couple of comments. Saw that Lawrence got his typical spawny look with his thirster invulnerables. Yeah. Bloodthirsters are very hit and miss still. Like, they can go down so quickly when they hit with the right weaponry, but when they get where they need to go, they're absolutely brutal. Same in Sigmar as well, though, isn't it, Luce? Because like as soon as you start hitting a Bloodthirster,
yeah,
you can take it down. But if it gets where it needs to be, like ideally, you will never ever let me get close with a Bloodthirster, will you?
No, no, especially Scarbrand.
Yeah, Scarbrand's brutal. There is a game coming on the channel soon, which I haven't edited yet because it'll take us a while. It's probably about 3 hours worth of footage to go through, actually. Me and Lucy played 4,000 points against each other. No, it was just shy of 4,000, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I had 5 Bloodthirsters. I counted my Demon Prince as one. And at one point, she was like, yeah, I'm going to lose. And then she won the top of the turn, and you shot down 3 of them in one go.
Mm-hmm. You got the double turn 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And you pretty much tabled us. In that
table, yeah.
You almost did.
I did a lot of damage.
I had, what I've left, I had a unit of Judicators left. I think 1 unit of Raptors. What?
You had some Raptors left, a couple of Liberators or Retributors, I think.
And I had like Celestant and Castellan and Stardrake. That's all I had left.
You had your Prime off the board.
And then me Prime, but that was it. After 1, I had 1 turn. And that was all. Speaking of Sigmar, did you see Jess posted today? It's the cover of the new German's Handbook.
A lot of people saying that's fake. A lot of people are saying that's a Photoshop. But I wouldn't be surprised. I think August, once they've released all of the Primaris Space Marine and the Death Guard stuff, I think that's when it'll drop. They'll basically hype the Space Marines and the Death Guard for a month or 2, and then switch back to Sigmar.
They're already starting to promote campaigns down at Warhammer World for it. I got an invite. Yeah, I got an invite in an email today. Or yesterday.
Oh. Which Craft World units are you liking now by Eric Peterson? I don't know. I like Fire Dragons because D6 damage, obviously, and rolling 2 dice and picking the highest within half range. I do like that. But I don't know. I was never a massive Craft World player anyway. Fire Prism's looking good, hence painting mine up. But no, Dark Reapers are still reasonable. -3 AP for 3 damage on the Strength 8 weapons. That's canny. And obviously, if you've got an Artok or Morgan Rana nearby, you can reroll 1s to hit, which is very handy. And they can't actually be don't suffer any negative modifiers. So, for example, when Lucy brings the Harlequins out, if I have Dark Reapers and I target her vehicles, I still hit on 3s. Yep, I ignore your penalty.
It's not fair.
Dark Reapers for you. Dark Reapers used to be able to reroll a hit against flyers or jet bikes, and you weren't allowed to jink against them. That's not fair. You're pulling an all-nighter, Harry. No, mate, I am not. I am at work tomorrow, which I don't want to be, but never mind. And I've got a lot of work to do because I took a week off and it's pay week this week, so we've got a lot of processing to do, and I've got a lot of statements to do, and I've got to catch up from last week's work that I didn't get done because I was off. I've got a lot to do, so no, I'll probably not stay loads longer, but I'll definitely be staying a while. So Lucy, if you pick Dark Eldar to paint, and you do some painting, what are you fancying painting?
Probably something big to start with, so I get used to it.
So a Raider or a Venom?
Yeah, because I'll get frustrated if I go straight in with one of the little models.
Yeah. The thing is with the Raiders and Venoms as well, because of my colour scheme, it's already sprayed black. So then you've literally just got to do some of the silvers and golds, and then it's all edge highlighting.
My favourite thing.
You hate edge highlighting, you hate dry brushing.
I hate washing.
Underdog says, what colour scheme am I going? Colour scheme for what? Me Dark Eldar? Just pretty much the same as what I've already got, just expanding the forces a little bit.
You know what you should do?
What?
Actually, I think your next 40k game, it should be one from each book. So, like, one from the Xenos book, one from the, all the new indexes. Should be one model from each versus each other. So it's like, how many indexes is there? 4.
Well, there's 5 indexes, but the problem with that is Index Xenos 1 has
Eldar, Dark Eldar, Harlequins,
and Necrons. Whereas Index 2 has Orcs, Genestealer, Cult, Tyranids, and Tau. Then technically in the Chaos one, you've got Chaos Undivided, which is no allegiance. Then you've got the 4 gods. And then in the Imperium one, you've got like all the chapters of Space Marines. You've got Death Watch, Grey Knights, Blood Angels, Space Wolves, but then you've got the Astra Militarum, you've got the Sisters, you've got Custodes, Admech.
One thought you'd be willing to take part.
What?
Say Phil, his favourite army is his Nids. So he'd bring that from Xenos 2. Say me with the Harlequins, that's Xenos 1, you Space Marines with Blood Angels. And then I can't remember the others you've just said.
Yeah, I get what you mean. That might be fun.
Just like what we did, what we're going to do with sigmar, 1 order, army verse, 1 death verse, 1 chaos, 1 destruction. Oh, that's going to be a decision for you. Will you play as chaos or destruction?
I've got destruction.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We need one of each. You can play either your beast claws for destruction or your corn for. So which one would you?
I'd go beast claws. I much prefer them.
Because they've actually beat me.
Well, that, and I actually like the army.
Yeah.
It's not that I dislike corn, it's just that it was easy because I already had corn. So Altoft says he's off. For his sub, thank you very much. Undog says, cool, I've got a purple and ivory colour scheme. Me Eldar's purple and ivory. But me Dark Eldar is purple with hints of green and blue. Because I do all of me Eldar Soul Gems green and blue. And then Eric Peterson says, I was sat here, there isn't a Corsair army list in the Forge World Xenos boo. Looks like I'm combining Dark Eldar and that. There is a Corsair army list in the Forge World book. Unfortunately, it's just not as good as what people hoped. They took a massive, massive nerf, and a lot of people aren't happy about it.
Has there been any word if Forge World's going to recall all the books because of all the mistakes in it?
I have no idea, but there was a ridiculous amount of mistakes in them books.
Considering that's meant to be the elite of the whole hobby, you'd think they would get the spelling right.
But it's not even that. It's blatantly obvious rule errors and everything. Now, I don't know how how they were told to release it, or what time window they had, but ones off the top of my head is there's the Tyranid Malanthrope rule states that the model within 6 inches, when the Venomthrope one says unit, and it says that it does not stack with the Venomthrope's rule, is silly. And the Demakaran one says that if a 6 to wound is rolled, counted as ×2 strength. But if you've rolled a 6 to wound, you've already wounded, so why would you need the extra strength? The Imperial Warhound Titan doesn't have a profile for between 19 and 30 wounds. Underdog Painting, quick question. Can you use a Primus Medicare in 40k? I presume a Primus Medicare is a 30k thing. I don't know what the equivalent of it is. It sounds like it's an apothecary or something. Then yes. You'd have to obviously count as an apothecary rather than a Primus Medicare, but other than that. The other one that I've seen is the Eldar Scorpion. It says if a 6 to wound is rolled, if a 6 is rolled to wound, count the damage as D6 instead of D3. But when you look at the profile of the weapon, it says it's got a damage of 3. Yep.
I believe it's being released like that.
It's abysmal. The thing is as well, right, they re-released the Eldar book last year, and the Warp Hunter, one of the tanks, had a gun, and in the profile itself, it's like in the data slate, it showed you what the gun was and what it did. And then in the back, you know how you've got an index of all of your guns and everything?
Mm-hmm.
The gun profile had a totally different rule. But then there was another unit that had the same gun elsewhere in the book, and in that entry, it had the same profile as what was in the back of the book. So it's like, so hang on, you give it the same gun on 2 different models. On one model, it's got one rule. On the other model, it's got the other rule. But then in the back of the book, there is no profile for the one that was on the first one. So, yeah.
I mean, how much is it?
You what?
How much is it?
That book was 45 quid. But the one that I've just discussed there, like all of the other ones, is 15.
Mm.
So, yeah, still not worth it.
Nearly done.
Yeah, just got to touch the base up on that. And the Fire Prism, I'm going to airbrush the crystal because I don't want to do it by brush. Other than that, I just have some white to do on all of the crystals.
What are you doing next?
The white on the crystals.
After that.
Probably start the Dark Eldar stuff.
Why didn't you just do the bases on the Trinity name and that's them done?
I'm waiting for them to dry.
Oh, have you done them?
Yeah, they're all there on the wood behind me. You see the all white lumps there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's them. Waiting for them to dry. Harry never stops. Fuck's sake, take a break, mate. This is my break. I'm probably going to need to after the last 2 or 3 days, but I've enjoyed getting stuff painted and I feel like I'm actually getting something done. Plus, Lucy's going to get the destroyer with even more ravages.
Hmm.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, I don't think you were here when I was talking to Liam. You know the Wraith army that James asked me to build and play.
Yeah.
Do you want to play against that?
Yeah.
So either I'll play it or Liam will. But it has to be with the Dark Eldar Coven army.
So like what Graham had.
Yes. So
War tests.
Talos, Grotesques, and Rax.
Mm-hmm. I like to tell us.
Loads of people are saying, "Oh, the Talos took a hit because they're not AP2." If Mikey's still watching, actually, his mate was crying because before they used to be AP2. So you know how the old AP used to work, where anything with a 2-up armor save didn't get it.
Yeah.
Anything with 2-up or worse actually just didn't get an armor save. Talos used to be AP2, so nobody got an armor save. It was always invulnerables or feel no pains.
Yeah, they lost that though, but they've gained how many extra wounds? Power from pain.
They've now got power from pain. They've got a 5-up invulnerable save. They've got 6 wounds apiece now.
7.
7 wounds apiece. They're only toughness 6, right? But as soon as you stand a homunculus next to them, they back up to toughness 7.
Mm-hmm.
They can do mortal wounds when they attack if they roll a 6. I think the Icor injector was doing D3 damage or D6.
Mm-hmm.
Micro scalpel was doing 2. And then if they're +1 to hit, they're hitting on 2s. The strength 5 or 6. And I don't even know what a Kronos does, but I'm pretty sure a Kronos buffs them. Makes them stronger. Eric Peterson says, do you think you can use Dark Eldar Coven units and the Ynnari in the same army? The Coven wouldn't be Ynnari, just allies. The wording of the Ynnari rules makes me wonder. You have to use a uniformed keyword. So you can use, at the minute, Aldari as your keyword to get it. But I suspect that is not going to last long. As a Blood Angel player, for example, I can't take Storm Talons. Now I really, really want some, and I've always wanted some. And at the minute, I can take them because I can build my army under the Adeptus Astartes keyword or Imperium, and I could use them, which is cool. But when a Blood Angel book drops, and every model in the army has to have the Blood Angel keyword, I then can't use their buffs. It's like Lucy, like you never really used it before because you didn't mix your army, but you could build your army under just order,
Mm-hmm.
and then you've got the ability to re-roll your battle shocks. However, when the Stormcast Battletome came out, if Lucy's army is entirely built with just Stormcast models, she can deep strike everything. But if she puts even one model in there that does not have the Stormcast keyword, such as a mage or a priest or anything that's not Stormcast, she cannot use that ability or the artifacts. So I would say at the minute you can get away with it, but it ain't going to last long.
What was that Talos weapon you weren't sure on the chain flank?
What's this for? Is this for the Talos?
Uh-huh.
I-core injector and micro scalpels, I think they're called.
Were they the ones you weren't sure?
Yeah.
The micro scallop.
Yeah, that's the micro.
You can make one additional combat attack with each time it fights. A model armed with 2 micro scalps can make 2 additionals.
Mm-hmm.
And the I-core injector. Oh, the.
Yeah. What's the damage profile on the?
Yeah. Micro one. Strength user,
Yeah.
-1 AP, 2 damage. The I-core is strength user, more AP, 1 damage. And again, it can make 1 additional attack each turn. You can reroll wound rolls for this weapon. Each time you wound roll a wound roll of 6 plus the target suffers D3 mortal wounds in addition to any other damage.
There you go.
And another one of their weapons, the chain flank, I think it says. Chain flank. I cannot say properly. You can reroll all fail to wounds.
Yeah, that's what it used to be in the old book as well. Patrick Wilde says, has Lucy had a power cut in her house?
No, it just seems a lot darker on screen than it actually is for turn my light on.
Also, she wouldn't have the internet if there was a power cut. I just realised I've totally missed some of the blue gems on this riff. So I'll have to quickly jump back and do them. No offense, man. None taken, mate. None at all. Oh, let's have a look.
Has there been as much rage quitters since 8th dropped as you'd expected?
I haven't seen any Tau armies for sale, which is surprising. I expected to see some. In fact, let's go and have a look on the Wargame trading page and see what is for sale, Lucy. Not that I'm buying anything, mind.
I was waiting for that.
So let's have a look. Wargame trading on Facebook. Brand new Dark Imperium set, £55 plus postage. Wow. Dark Imperium Nurgle. Warhammer 40k Eldar. There is a Fire Prism, some Dire Avengers, and some Banshees. For 35 quid. Eldar goodies, we've got 2 Talos, 10 Scourge, 2 Archons, 2 Venoms, Wind Rider, Farseer, Void Raven Bomber, and a Wraith Knight. Is Sigmar stuff, Gryphounds, Slamor, Zinch Chariot, Knight Azeroth, and a Tactical Squad. Come on, keep loading. Some terrain. Space Marines. No drop pods, believe it or not. Orcs. A crap ton of Armageddon style terrain. It looks mostly custom built and some MDF ones. Enough to fill a 64. 7th edition codexes. An entire Necron army.
No way.
Burning of Prospero box. Lots of Space Marines. There we go. 9 drop pods. Eric Peterson says the Inari rule says that Inari army can't contain Coven. I guess you could just call it an Eldari army and have both. Yeah, that's the way it's going to have at the moment. But like I said, I think that'll change when codexes drop. 40k clear out. There's a lot of stuff there which I'm not even going to go through, but it's all boxed. Some green skins for Sigmar. A couple of old Space Wolves. some Nurgle Demons, Old Metal Lizard Man, 30k Death Guard, 30k Plastic stuff, Old Metal Imperial Guard, Bearing of Prospero, Bretonnian Knight Army.
This may sound stupid, but 30k can't really go any advance much because it leads into 40k, doesn't it?
Yeah, the story for 30k won't advance. They are writing the novels to cover the entire heresy, and they estimated it was going to be about 18 books, and they've just released books 7 or 8. So they will eventually tell the full story in great detail, which is what they're doing at the minute. But we know what the ending is, and that's not going to change. But how we get to the ending is what they're telling at the moment.
A totally different topic. Have you thought any more about your armies on board?
No, because I know roughly what I'm doing. I just haven't had time to even consider it.
My dad's picking us up a load more of that.
Polystyrene?
Yeah.
Cool.
If he remembers.
Yeah, I'm going to need a lot of slate, so I'll probably have to go to the garden centre and buy a bag of slate before it goes out of season.
In my garden?
Yeah, I know, but the amount I need, I'll actually make your garden a little bit bare. It's going to be a damn heavy board when I'm done. But I also need a water fountain.
A big garden size one?
Yeah.
That's just made too big.
No, it won't be. I'm going to do it right. I've got a really, really cool idea to do it. I want to have an actual waterfall.
Awesome.
Huh?
That would be awesome.
It's going to be big.
Very nice.
Hashtag send Nids. Philip is here. Philip, would you like to join in? Do you know he's been in bed all day, Lucy?
You lazy, lazy, lazy thing.
He's stayed up a lot of the night playing Halo Wars. When is Lucy doing Slanesh?
I am not.
Because he has some to sell if you want them.
No, thank you. Kizzy might.
No bashing one out on Halo with my college friends. Phil, that sounds so wrong. Patrick Wild. Oh no, it's Phil. No, I'm going to keep them, Harry. Fair enough, Phil.
Are we getting Scarbrand yet, Phil?
Phil's always starting another army, man.
He's like you.
I keep my armies and finish them. That's the difference. Phil's got his Caradron Overlords, which he's painted one model of, but then when 8th dropped, he was like, nope, I don't care about Caradrons, I'm painting Tyranids. And that's all he's painted for like 4 weeks. It's Tyranids. And he painted a lot of them, in fairness. Like, a lot.
No, I just thought.
What?
Tyranids, Dark Eldar, and the Space Marine armies that have been really often. Isn't it a coincidence that they've gotten pretty much the most things to buy?
Space Marine's always going to be popular because it's Games Workshop's poster army. Like Stormcast are. There's a lot of models for Stormcast now compared to some armies because they are basically, oh, this is Sigmar, which is why when Stormcast didn't need the love, they still got love. So he's nearly done. He just needs a couple of bits of white on him, and then he's base. The fire prism is done. Besides the crystal, which I will airbrush when I do some airbrushing, probably on Tuesday. Damn heavy tank. Needs need love from Phil. Oh, oh, oh. Where are we at? Right. Razor Wing, Reaper, and a couple of Dark Lancers.
Oh, someone's commented his username is Vandus Hammerhand.
His name is Vandus Hammerhand.
Yeah, he's the username. And he had fun playing with a
Where is he commented?
in the live chat.
Oh, that's brilliant. I don't think I want to do the Razor Wing yet, even though I probably should, because it won't take that much to do. But yeah, it's dark Eldar time. And I need some more Gorilla Glue. The other day I had fun playing with the horror specs. Phil, you are a Tyranid. What other love do you need? Might be starting a Nid army soon. Got the paint guide to see which high fleet I want to go. Everyone's starting Nids. It's like, Nids got powerful. I'm starting Nids. Liam's starting Nids, but Liam has been interested in Tyranids for a while. Like, before this even happened. So, yeah. Oh, right, where are we starting? Let's start with a silver.
Are you looking forward to this second General's Handbook, Vandus? I love you using him.
Yeah, General's Handbook 2 is rumoured to be soon. There was a picture floating about, but is it real? Is it not? We don't quite know. I wonder how much they're adjusting the points. Because I presume they will. I hope they bring some new missions in as well. Like, there's only 4 that we play. There's 2 of them that we don't even bother playing.
Just
like escalation. It's so awkward. Like, we're bringing like a 30 army in now, and another 30 army in now.
What one's that?
Escalation.
Yeah, that one off we.
No, we've never even played it. Sounds like there's a car out the back doing skids. Let's have a look. I placed this name on a Steam account 3 days before Age of Sigmar released. Heard rumors of his name and no one bothered. A good shout. Lucy, if he didn't have that name, would you change your Steam account to Vandus Hammerhand?
Probably. I need to find the name of Celestin on foot. What his real name is? Or is it still Vandus?
No. It'll be a different model. The only reason Vandus is named is because of the story from Gates of Azir that you read.
Yeah.
Because he's specifically named. I think Relict is named.
He is. No, it's just Relictor, I think. Can it?
No, He is named because it's in the book that you get with Age of Sigmar.
Yeah, I know you can play Vandus in a few. Actually, play him now.
Yeah, Vandus's rules are actually out. He's 280 points. He doesn't have the shield. His hammer does 3 damage automatically. His passive ability is Lord of the Host, so he just has that, and his command ability is +1 attack within 6 inches. He's 280 points. But he doesn't have the right shield.
Up today, and he was there.
You are?
I checked on the app today, and he was there.
Is he? Patrick and Phil are having fun. So they're nid flirting at each other and nomming each other, and Patrick says, "Watch out for my bone sword." Phil says, "Let me get my lash whip." Phil, that sounds an awful lot like Heresy and Slaneshi. Do you know what? I don't think I'm going to get the Dark Eldar stuff finished.
Tonight?
No.
You were thinking of doing them all tonight?
Well, I thought I would have finished them at like 3 this afternoon, but I didn't even start them until after then. Because I was busy building lots of other stuff. Like, I fixed up 2 Castellan robots for my AdMech and 3 Cataphrone breaches and destroyers. I built, and in fact, if Steve Dunn is still here, Steve, can you comment in the chat and let me know if he's still here? Because rather than buying a Cadre Fireblade, I built one, which is basically just a Tau commander. Well, it's not commander, it's a Tau Fire Warrior General on foot, basically. And I made one. So, Steve, if you're still here, please leave a quick note and I'll show you what I built.
Are you going to give your admin another go?
Oh, yeah, I've already had them out twice. But yeah, I'll give them another go. Especially because I've got 2 more Castellans here. Oh, Steve's still there. Right, give me 2 seconds.
When did you play them a second time?
With Phil, I used them to supplement my nights because the Forge World book wasn't out for me of the 3 nights.
Yeah.
I couldn't play fewer nights. Where is he? So it might be hard to see, but so he's got his bonding knife, he's got his EMP grenades, he's got his pulse rifle, he's got a little walkie-talkie, and he's got a cloak, a green stuffed cloak. I suck at green stuff, but there we go. That's a Cadre Fireblade, I hope. Vandus Hammerhand, +1 attack command ability, a brutal trait for Vandus. Give that command trait, Consummate Commander to Lord Celestin, and you'll, yep, we've already actually discussed that, Vandus, haven't we, Lucy?
Yep.
So Lucy would take Lord Celestin on foot with Consummate Commander to give them +1 to hit with +1 attack, and it was Retributors having 3 attacks each, doing mortal wounds on 5s.
Yeah, 2 minutes. Yeah, it'll be 2 minutes. Bye. I'm going to have to see me mum a second.
Yeah, no worries. And Steve Dunn says, yeah, that's cool, better than the normal one. Yeah, the knife poses like, it's
also, Vandus, given that +1 to your Retributors, 10 Retributors, 4-star sonuses, and you're able 2 damage per piece. Hammers.
Rainbow Warriors, obviously. Right, back to Dark Eldar Raiders. which, like I said, I don't think I'm going to get these finished tonight now, but I'm going to try and get a big portion of them done. I can get all the silver and gold done, so that it's basically just a case of the purples. I'd be very happy with that. Also, I made a Forge World Reaper conversion today because I don't want to pay 44 quid for another one. So I had a spare, I want to say Necron, it's not a Doomsday Cannon, a Doom Ray? There we go, and then I've got the sail here. There we go. And honestly commend your efforts, Harry. No other bugger works harder than you for a 40k channel, and I really appreciate that, mate. Thank you. Lucy would even tell you, if she was here, that I do put way too much time into it. I'm too hard on myself, and I do need to take a break at times. But yeah, I basically had a week off from gaming because I didn't game from 40k launch night up until yesterday. So I did take a break from gaming. I just happened to get a crap ton of painting done as well in that time. Speaking of, Harry, what's your favourite successor chapter? Crimson Fists. Speaking of a break, me and Lucy is going to go to the cinema tomorrow. What would you recommend we see? Phil says not Transformers. That's a Reaper. Yes, it is a Reaper. It is a converted one because I've already got one in the cabinet behind me. This makes two because they got good. However, they were still pretty decent in 40k. I remember a game, probably I want to say third or fourth one on the channel, a long time ago. And I insta-killed Phil's Tervagon with this thing. Yeah, the Reapers are nasty. I've also got Tantalus as well, which hasn't been on the channel in a very long time. But obviously that's now going to be coming back out. So I need to work out a 2,000 point coven list. And if I can conveniently fit a Reaper or two in there, I may do it. Especially considering they'll be toughness 7 whilst they're within 8 inches of a monk. Lucy. Is that you back? Must be pouring a drink or something. All Dark Eldar are nasty playing as the transports don't get torn to pieces that easy anymore. Yep. Despite only being toughness 5 and 6, They're now very good. That'll do nicely for that. And then I've got two old Ravagers, but they were missing the gunners. So all I've done is I've built a guy with a Dark Lance. I want to craft the base, and he's going to sit conveniently in there, looking out with his Dark Lance. Because I managed to get, I got these about 5 or 6 old Raiders, 2 of them being Ravagers, and then a Razor Wing, a couple of Venoms, and a handful of newer shaped Raiders for 50 quid, quite some time ago actually. But yeah, I got 50 quid, so it was an absolute bargain. Quantum Shield and other nasty thing, yes, which means if an Imperial Knight charges it, right, it only suffers the damage if the Quantum Shield player rolls the actual 6. So yes, I believe the way to kill that is hit with multiple things that does 1 damage. So heavy bolters and assault cannons, for example. You can't roll less than a 1 then. I need to actually paint 2 Ghost Arcs, but I can't bring myself to do them because they're so much hard work to paint them. And when I started my Necrons, I decided to paint the deep bits of all of the armor a brown color, and then do the outside bits a lighter color, and I regret doing that a lot. So anyway, the Ravager idea that I was on about is basically Reapers equals cheesy, broken, overpowered. There you go. Basically, that guy's leaning out the side with the Darklands. And obviously I've got one for the other side as well. Primaris are okay with their plasma shot, 1 damage takes a big round, but quantum shields are useless versus. Yeah, they absolutely are. And do you know what? I used them yesterday, and I was good. I shot a Fate Weaver, right? And in the Primaris Codex thing that you get in the starter box, it doesn't say clearly that you can overcharge them. Not like what the actual index does. So because I had the index open at the Blood Angel bit and I was using the Primaris book for my Primaris Marines, it doesn't say very clearly that you can overcharge. And I was in a position where I could rapid fire a Fate Weaver, re-rolling ones to hit and then re-rolling wounds. And I absolutely would have, but when I read the comments and stuff, it didn't look like you could do it. So there we go. That'll be my Ravager with 2 guys leaning out of it with Dark Lancers, basically. And then pretty much the same on the other one. So I'll have 2. Interesting enough, though, that is the actual old metal one, because you can see the spikes and everything underneath of it. This one is actually just a conversion from the plastic kit. So actually, I might swap them around, because the other ones I'm going to have to use the gunners and actually use the sides as like a gun barrier to rest the Dark Lancers on. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to do it that way. Yeah, that's the way I'm going to have to do it, I think. Because then I'm going to have to stand her at the back.
Oh, for goodness sake.
And then put the dark ant on the front of it, just there.
I'm back.
Hi.
Doing this.
What? Still on your bed again?
Both of them. Can you see them?
Yeah.
Shout at them, see if because Murphy's looking for you because he can hear you.
Murphy! Murphy!
Oh, did you see that?
No, because when I speak, it switches the camera to me.
Oh, his head jerked up, looking out the door. And when you shouted the second time, he dived off the bed thinking you were here.
Bless him.
I'm back.
Hi.
Hi.
So yeah, I think I'm just going to do the base coat silvers, Lucy, and then I'm going to call it a night because I'm starting to get tired now.
Yeah.
Interesting, I actually haven't, but I've got a few comments to catch up on. Patrick Wild said, I honestly commend your efforts, Harry. No other bugger works harder than you for a 40k channel. And I said, actually, like, yeah, I have to remind myself at times that I do need a break. And then my breaks are normally only like a week, and then I'm straight back on it. And
how can I custom visibility?
what?
Patrick Wild called crap Lucy in custom visibility. No wonder she kicks Harry's ass.
Because you disappeared.
Oh, right.
Invisibility was a broken psychic power from 7th edition. Basically, you could cast it, right, on a unit, and that unit could only be shot at if you were rolling six. Sorry, if you shot at the unit, you could only hit it with sixes.
Hmm.
And you couldn't target it with blast templates or flamers.
Do you miss them in 8th?
Flamers, yes. Blast templates, no. Well, yes and no, because in the same time as well, like blast templates, if you, for example, perfect example was Gene Stealer Cult, the battle cannon on Phil's Lehman Russ. Gene Stealer Cult only hit on a 4, right?
Mm.
So if you were to shoot a blast template was hitting the table, no matter where it went. It might scatter off, but it might hit a different target, but it was there on the table. Whereas now, you are hitting on 4s, so if you miss, nothing happens. Whereas if you missed before, the blast template could scatter off and hit another unit. So, yes and no. You know what?
Mm.
I actually think I've had it.
Yeah.
I genuinely think I'm now ready for bed. Oh. Well, I've got a good portion done, and at least I've started on the Reapers and the Ravagers. But that was the question. Me and Lucy are going to the cinema tomorrow. What should we see? Phil says not Transformers, though.
Why?
Because it's bad. Oh, Vander's Hammerhand says away with invisibility, had enough of a full squad of grab sense with Tigerius inside. Yes, that was awful. And those freaking bikes with the re-rollable 3+ cover saves. Yes, they were also horrible. I told Lucy about Ravenwing, didn't I?
No.
The Dark Angel bikers that can re-roll their cover saves.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, oh yeah, because I'm a really good biker, I can jink for a 3+. But because I'm Ravenwing, I can re-roll my 3+. Patrick Wild, I'm ready for bed. Dash, still painting, equals Harry. Yeah, I'm just finishing the silver on this one because I've got it in my hand, so. Yep, now that's it. I've had it. I've well and truly had it. I need some Gorilla Glue tomorrow to glue my last 5 Marines onto the bases.
Jotty right tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going to get some. So yeah, I have successfully this weekend played a full game of 40k, 6 turns of it. I have Phil Weekly. Phil, I am knackered. I have been sat at this desk now for 12 hours. Doing, well, bar and going in the shower, eating, spraying, and putting the washing out, which I need to go get in. Do the knit. Phil, the knit bases are done. They're there. Look. Done. Just waiting to dry before I can spray them. So I've done the knit bases. All the Primaris Marines are done. I finished Fire Prism and a Wraith Lord. I converted up Cadre Fireblade. I built Shadow Sun. I built 6 stealth teams. I converted a Reaper. I fixed up 2 Castellan robots. I fixed up a Devilfish. I built 3 Breacher, Destroyer, robot-y things. Phil says, do the Dark Eldar, do the Admech. Do Dark Eldar. No, I will do the Dark Eldar. The 2 Ravagers and the Raider here is what will be next. Right. Lucy?
Yes.
I've had it. You can do some painting for me now.
I had glitter
But
Dark Eldar.
you're not putting glitter on them. You are not putting glitter on them. Absolutely not. Steve Dunn, I've got 12 Kroot and 2 Kroot Hounds on the go. I have 15 Kroot, 6 Kroot Hounds, and 3 Krootoks here if Lucy would like to paint those for me, though. What are Kroot?
Tau.
They are Tau, but they are the bird people type ones. So they're all done. They're all sprayed and everything, and highlighted. They just, you literally need to paint like the satchels and the guns.
Monkey dogs.
And then the hounds are the ones that you proxied as Ether Wings when we were proxying with Beast Claw stuff.
Oh yeah.
What?
Phil, don't do it, Lucy.
He's going to use them anyway. Or isn't going. Yeah, Phil, I am going to use them. Just not straight away.
Right, I am going to look Sam knackered as well.
I am. Nobody suggested a film to see tomorrow.
I can't remember what's on. I know Transformers is on.
There's another one that came out on Thursday as well. That came out on the 22nd. I can't remember what it was. Look at me double chin.
The Mummy, Hempstead, Spider-Man. No, that's not yet. We've seen Wonder Woman, we've seen Pirates.
Steve Dunn says Hounds are mint for ripping down Toughness 3 infantry.
How many Transformers that came out?
Is that it?
Yeah. So we've seen Baby Driver.
What? Right, and on that note, I'm exhausted. I'm going to bed. So
Yes.
thank you very much for everybody that's tuned in over the 2 streams I ended up doing, and thank you to everybody that tuned in last night. Who have we got now? Still 14. So Yep, definitely going now. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Stay tuned. There'll be battle reports and all sorts coming soon.